Ancient texts, particularly biblical passages, describe the presence of enormous warriors. These accounts raise questions regarding the literal interpretation of such descriptions. Alternatively, they prompt consideration of their symbolic nature within historical narratives. The existence of these figures in ancient lands remains a subject of ongoing scholarly debate. The Old Testament frequently references towering warriors. These figures inhabited regions surrounding ancient Canaan. Their presence is a recurring motif within the biblical texts. This indicates a persistent memory of these formidable individuals. The memory of these warriors was preserved across many generations. Their stories reflect a significant cultural and historical impact. References to formidable figures are found throughout several books of the Hebrew Bible. This widespread presence indicates the deep historical roots of these narratives. The concept of these powerful entities was integral to ancient storytelling. These figures were embedded within the cultural and religious fabric of the time. Their recurring mention suggests a significant role in collective memory. This highlights the enduring nature of these traditions across generations. Biblical narratives frequently mention accounts of giants within their texts. These accounts describe beings of extraordinary size and stature. Among the most prominent names linked to these giants are the Anakim. The Anakim are consistently depicted as a formidable race of giants. Another significant group associated with giants is the Rephaim. The Rephaim are also frequently referenced in biblical stories as powerful, giant figures. The Israelites embarked on a significant journey towards the promised land of Canaan. Their historical narratives detail the various territories they encountered along this path. These narratives describe the indigenous tribes inhabiting these lands. The tribes are situated within the historical accounts of the Israelites' travels. These accounts provide context for the interactions and challenges faced. The journey ultimately led them to the region designated as Canaan. The Book of Numbers introduces a pivotal theme in the Israelite journey. Moses dispatches 12 spies to reconnoiter the land of Canaan. This mission precedes the Israelite advance into the Promised Land. The spies' reconnaissance is crucial for strategic planning and assessment. Scouts embark on a mission to explore the vast and varied landscapes of the region. Their journey takes them through deep valleys, characterized by lush vegetation and winding rivers. They then ascend challenging hills, offering panoramic views of the surrounding territories. During their traverse, the scouts encounter fortified cities, strategically built for defense. They carefully observe the inhabitants within these strongholds, noting their activities and customs. This reconnaissance provides crucial intelligence on both the geography and the societal structures of the land. Upon their return, the spies compiled a detailed report of their mission findings. The report included observations on the territories traversed and strategic locations. A significant portion of the report focused on the people they encountered during their journey. The spies provided a striking and vivid description of these individuals. This description detailed their customs, appearance, and social structures. A recent report details the characteristics of inhabitants in a specific land. The report claims this land is populated by individuals possessing significant power. A notable physical attribute of these inhabitants is their exceptionally large stature. Their physical size is described as overwhelmingly large when compared to ordinary men. This disparity in size highlights a key characteristic of the population described in the report. The spies reported on the descendants of ENOCH, a formidable group of warriors. These individuals were characterized by their immense stature and imposing presence. Their towering appearance made the explorers feel small and vulnerable in comparison. The Anakim were perceived as giants, instilling fear and intimidation in those who encountered them. Ancient writers frequently documented significant encounters and events. Their narratives aimed to convey the profound impact of these experiences. A key technique involved the use of vivid, descriptive language. This language was carefully chosen to evoke strong emotional responses. The descriptions highlighted the intense emotional impact felt by participants. Such literary methods ensured the emotional resonance for their audience. The scouts encountered entities of immense stature. These entities were perceived as giants, dwarfing the observers. The scouts reported feeling like grasshoppers in their presence. This analogy highlighted a significant difference in physical size. It also emphasized a perceived imbalance in power dynamics. The experience underscored the vast disparity between the groups. The statement's language highlights the formidable reputation of these warriors. This language can stem from literal observations of their prowess in combat. Alternatively, it may function as a dramatic storytelling device to emphasize their impact. Regardless of its origin, the phrasing consistently underscores their fearsome image. The choice of words reinforces the perception of their strength and influence. The Anakim were a group traditionally believed to inhabit specific regions. Their primary dwelling places were mountainous territories. They also resided in fortified cities. These settlements were located across the southern parts of Canaan. This distribution suggests a strategic presence in the region. Ancient readers often imagined formidable fighters. These warriors were envisioned as significantly taller than ordinary soldiers. Their massive silhouettes were distinctly visible. They were perceived as guardians, protecting their settlements. Historical accounts describe ancient warriors wielding formidable weaponry. These armaments often included spears of immense length, towering over a man. Warriors also carried shields of significant size, designed for extensive body coverage. The scale of these weapons suggests a focus on intimidating presence and defensive capability. Such descriptions highlight the physical prowess and tactical approaches of ancient combatants. The Old Testament contains narratives describing unusually large tribes. These accounts appear consistently across various books of the Old Testament. The narratives introduce different groups of people. These groups are frequently associated with exceptional physical stature. The descriptions highlight their remarkable size and strength. Such portrayals contribute to the historical and cultural context of the biblical texts. The Rephaim are identified as ancient inhabitants within specific historical texts. This term refers to groups residing in territories located east of the Jordan River. Their presence is documented in historical and biblical accounts of the region. The Rephaim represent a significant ancient population in these eastern lands. King Og of Bashan is a significant figure in ancient traditions. He is prominently associated with the Rephaim, an ancient race. This connection highlights his intriguing role in historical narratives. His story offers insights into the Rephaim tradition. The Book of Deuteronomy records a distinctive detail about King Og. King Og was the Amorite king of Bashan. His iron bed measured 9 cubits in length. This detail is significant in biblical texts. Modern estimations provide insights into historical object sizes. These estimations apply to various artifacts, including furniture. A specific bed, when reconstructed, reveals extraordinary dimensions. Its length is calculated to exceed 13 feet. This measurement indicates a truly unusual size for a bed. Such dimensions are atypical compared to standard bed sizes. King Og, a figure from ancient texts, has long fascinated scholars and readers. Specific details about his physical stature have sparked centuries of curiosity. The exact dimensions of King Og's size remain a subject of historical debate. This particular detail continues to captivate, prompting ongoing speculation and research. The text provides no explicit measurement for Og's height. However, the description strongly implies a remarkable physical characteristic. Og was remembered as an extraordinarily large ruler. This suggests a stature significantly beyond typical human dimensions. Ancient storytellers often used specific narrative techniques to convey character traits. Emphasizing physical size was a common method to illustrate a character's intimidating presence. This technique effectively communicated the reputation a character held among neighboring peoples. Such descriptions were crucial for establishing fear and respect without direct exposition. The Rephaim were known to inhabit regions of significant fertility. These territories were characterized by their rich agricultural potential. Their settlements included cities that were notably fortified. These fortifications provided defense for their urban centers. The Rephaim thus controlled extensive and productive lands. Smaller tribes often encountered larger, more powerful groups. These powerful groups controlled territories rich in resources and strategic advantages. The defense of these valuable lands was undertaken by their formidable warriors. From the perspective of the smaller tribes, these defenders seemed exceptionally strong. The warriors defending such rich territories might have appeared almost superhuman. Initial impressions are formed based on observations or experiences. These impressions, over time, can be shared and retold within a community. The retelling process often involves embellishment and interpretation. Such narratives can then evolve into widespread stories or folklore. This process explains how initial perceptions can lead to myths, like tales of giants. Goliath of Gath is a prominent figure in biblical narratives, specifically in the book of Samuel. He is depicted as a Philistine giant and a formidable warrior. Goliath challenged the Israelite army to send forth a champion for single combat. This challenge was met by the young shepherd, David, who was not a trained soldier. The confrontation between Goliath and David is a well-known story of faith and courage. Goliath's story is deeply embedded in religious and cultural traditions. The biblical account describes Goliath as a formidable warrior. He was portrayed as a massive fighter, renowned for his imposing stature. Goliath was clad in heavy armor, providing significant protection in battle. He wielded an enormous spear, a weapon of considerable size and power. The spear's shaft was likened to a weaver's beam, emphasizing its immense scale. A towering figure stood across the battlefield. His presence instilled fear in the Israelite army. Soldiers hesitated, unwilling to confront him. The intimidating presence created a significant psychological barrier. This scene has achieved widespread recognition within biblical narratives. It is considered one of the most iconic moments in religious storytelling. Its prominence stems from its dramatic and impactful portrayal. The scene's visual and emotional intensity contributes to its memorability. This dramatic depiction has cemented its status as a cultural touchstone. The biblical narrative of Goliath is well known for his immense stature and strength. However, textual evidence suggests Goliath was not an isolated case of gigantism within his people. The scriptures indicate the presence of other individuals of similar extraordinary size. These accounts imply a lineage or group associated with unusual physical dimensions. Thus, Goliath's story is part of a broader context of giants within his community. Historical accounts frequently describe warriors possessing unique physical traits. These descriptions often highlight unusual characteristics among fighters from specific regions. Such physical distinctions serve to set these warriors apart from others. Later passages further corroborate this pattern, detailing additional examples. These subsequent mentions reinforce the recurring theme of distinctive warrior physiques. The consistent portrayal suggests a notable aspect of their identity or combat prowess. A warrior is described with remarkable physical characteristics. He possesses 6 fingers on each hand. Additionally, he has 6 toes on each foot. This rare trait is part of his distinctive description. Specific details indicate certain regions in the ancient Near East. These regions were linked to particular clans. These clans were renowned for their exceptional physical size. They were also distinguished by their remarkable strength. Modern historians engage in the study of biblical passages. Their approach involves offering multiple possible interpretations. These interpretations consider various historical and contextual factors. This methodology allows for a nuanced understanding of ancient texts. Ancient stories often describe encounters with unusually tall figures. One interpretation suggests these tales reflect interactions with specific warrior tribes. These tribes were notable for their exceptional physical stature. Their height was considered unusual compared to the general population of the time. However, their physical attributes were not necessarily supernatural in origin. This perspective offers a non-supernatural explanation for such historical accounts. Human height is a complex trait exhibiting significant variation across different populations globally. This diversity in stature is influenced by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Rare genetic conditions can profoundly impact growth, leading to extraordinary variations in height. These conditions can result in individuals of exceptionally tall or short stature, beyond typical ranges. Oral storytelling was a fundamental aspect of communication in ancient cultures. Narratives served as primary vehicles for preserving history, values, and knowledge. These stories were often transmitted verbally from one generation to the next. This intergenerational transmission ensured cultural continuity and collective memory. The nature of oral tradition shaped the structure and content of these ancient narratives. Stories, when retold over extended periods, often undergo significant transformations. A common characteristic of these retellings is an increase in dramatic elements. This dramatization is particularly evident when narratives involve formidable enemies. The portrayal of adversaries tends to become more exaggerated and intense over time. Similarly, descriptions of significant historical events are frequently enhanced for dramatic effect. This process shapes collective memory, often prioritizing narrative impact over strict factual accuracy. Oral tradition is a method of transmitting history, stories, and knowledge across generations. Through this process, narratives can evolve and be embellished over time. A powerful warrior's deeds, retold over decades or centuries, may become exaggerated. This transformation can elevate a historical figure to the status of a giant in folklore. Exaggeration is a widespread phenomenon observed in historical traditions. This process involves amplifying or embellishing past events or narratives. It is not limited to a single culture, but appears across global historical accounts. Such exaggeration often serves various cultural, social, or political purposes. Epic stories from ancient civilizations often feature characters of extraordinary size. These narratives originate from diverse cultures, including ancient Greece, Scandinavia, and Mesopotamia. Heroes and adversaries in these tales are consistently depicted as far larger than ordinary humans. This portrayal emphasizes their superhuman qualities and significance within the epic tradition. Descriptions and narratives often serve a deeper purpose beyond mere entertainment. They are crafted to convey significant thematic elements and underlying messages. One such purpose is to highlight specific virtues or characteristics within the story. These narratives frequently emphasize the profound courage required by protagonists. This courage is demonstrated through their confrontation of powerful and formidable adversaries. Thus, descriptions function as a tool to underscore the importance of bravery in challenging circumstances. Narrative elements can significantly reinforce dramatic tension within a story. This reinforcement makes the inherent conflicts more pronounced and impactful for the audience. By heightening tension, narratives become more compelling and engaging. Such techniques are crucial for maintaining audience interest and emotional investment. Within biblical narratives, the presence of giant warriors is a recurring motif. These formidable adversaries symbolize overwhelming odds and seemingly insurmountable challenges. Their depiction serves to amplify the magnitude of the conflicts faced by protagonists. Such encounters highlight moments where faith and unwavering courage are paramount. These stories consistently demonstrate the ultimate triumph of belief over physical might. The narrative emphasizes that spiritual strength can overcome any earthly obstacle. The story of David and Goliath is a classic narrative illustrating the triumph of the underdog. It features David, a young shepherd, confronting Goliath, a formidable giant warrior. Goliath was heavily armored and feared by an entire army, representing overwhelming power. Despite the disparity, David defeats Goliath, symbolizing victory against impossible odds. This message transcends time, resonating across centuries with profound significance. It embodies a universal truth: the inherent possibility of triumph. This triumph is achievable even when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The message symbolizes the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity. It represents the belief that victory is attainable against all odds. Thus, it serves as an enduring inspiration for perseverance and success. Ancient Israelite historical imagination preserved memories of powerful tribes. These memories extended beyond mere symbolic representation. The Anakim were a group of giants mentioned in the Hebrew Bible. The Rephaim were another ancient race, often associated with giants or ancestral spirits. Repeated references to the Anakim and Rephaim are found in ancient texts. These references demonstrate the embedded nature of these tribal memories within the historical narrative. Archaeological findings confirm the existence of formidable civilizations in ancient Canaan. These findings suggest a historical basis for the narratives of giants in the region. The concept of giants may represent a combination of historical memory. It also incorporates cultural storytelling and symbolic narrative within ancient societies.